Hello.
Hi, Alex. First thing, it's a pleasure to have you here, and I think you don't need presentations, but uh, it's cool to have you here because you are kind of inspiration to me, and uh, so I will not talk too long. I will let you speak. So, how are you?
Well, I'm fine. Thank you very much for inviting me here. It's very nice to see you again, especially after meeting you at the Polyglot workshops in Brazil. It's nice we can stay in touch.
Yeah, it's cool. It's an incredible opportunity, and so today I'm here because I want to know more about the process of create a blog, and I was thinking, well, to do it I need to contact the best people, the
Mm-hmm.
specialists. So
Okay.
you have a blog, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a very cool blog. I always read it, and I remember the first article I saw in your blog was about mixing up Hungarian and Hebrew.
Uh-huh.
It was a very nice one. But the point today is how do you have this idea when it begin in your mind when you think, oh, I need to create a blog.
Uh-huh. Well, I think my story is a little bit different to some other people because I was very lucky in that I won this competition in 2012 and was named Britain's most multilingual student. And there was a video by the BBC that went viral first in February 2012. And then I started my blog at the very end of December 2012. So there was a long gap, but I was very lucky in that there was already a lot of publicity out there, and there was already, a lot of people who knew who I was and knew what I was doing before I even started the blog. So it was kind of a question of how do I keep all of this going? If I want people to be able to contact me, I need to have a place where they can. And also, I think I want to share my story because when you are in a lot of media, especially BBC, Huffington Post, all these kind of things that run stories about me, they run their versions of the stories. And I kind of wanted to tell my story to explain what being multilingual, being a polyglot is like for me.
Yeah, it's very different. Yeah, you had the you had the fame first and the blog after that.
Exactly. Many people, it's for most people, it's the other way around. They work for years on the blog and then the fame comes. Whereas for me, my trajectory goes like this. So I'm the opposite.
Yeah, and do you dedicate a lot of time to your blog weekly?
Um, well, nowadays, yeah, nowadays my blog, well, it depends what you mean as well by the blog, but nowadays my blog is my full-time job. I do it all the time. I teach courses through my blog. I have many students that I meet with all over the world who are learning German, Russian, or Greek. Um, and I try to write a good article every week or every second week. It doesn't always happen because sometimes I write articles that I'm not happy with, but I try to do something every week. And when I first started the blog, I wrote something every single week, and I would spend kind of 3, 4 hours a week just on writing that article and getting it out there. But then I didn't have so much free time, so it dropped off, but I'm trying to get back into good habits.
Yeah, you are doing it to keep
Thank
the
you.
level. And what about your routine? You told that you have students around the world. Mm,
Yeah.
do you teach Greek, German, and Russian?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But how can you conciliate the routine of your studies? Because
Uh-huh.
I suppose you study a lot of hours each day because you have a lot of languages to maintain.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, I think you just have to make time. It's about scheduling. So I always try and do a little bit of language study every morning and every evening. So at the start of the day and the end of the day. And I'm most productive at the beginning of the day. So when I'm having breakfast, I can do half an hour, 40 minutes. And then the end of the day, 15 minutes, 20 minutes just to look over and remember some things. And that's enough for me to keep making progress. I have lessons that I have where I'm the student several times a week too. Those are just scheduled in. And of course, because I'm teaching German, Russian, and Greek, I'm also revising those languages all the time. And because I live in Spain now, I'm using Spanish every day too. So naturally, without much effort, I'm able to maintain a lot of languages around my normal life. And that's one way that I keep everything going.
Okay, and uh, what kind of advices do you have for that people who wants to start a new blog?
hmm I think you need to think about what you want to blog about. Um, for me, it did take a while to find my voice. It takes a while. I think you need to have the confidence to know that people want to hear your message. What I think is very important is always to write from the heart, because there are a lot of blogs out there whose only purpose is to sell something. And, people are not stupid. People can tell that a blog is just there for advertising. If you want to write something that's different, write about you and write about your story, because everybody is different in the world, and you're definitely going to have some advice and some experiences to share that nobody else can. And I think that's what makes a really good blog.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you because there are a lot of websites just trying to sell something.
Yeah.
Um,
Top 10 tips for fluency, we spot it a mile off, I mean, I understand people have to make a living, people have to sell things, but, when I started making a living out of my blog, my philosophy was always that 90% of everything I do should be free. And then those people who can and want to pay for things that I offer can pay for them. But my goal is to reach as many people as possible, to share my experiences, to inspire people. I have to live as well. I have to make a living, but I believe that I can do both.
yeah, of course. And uh, you always organizing the workshops with research.
hmm
And when I got to your blog, I noticed that that was just a little word in the top part of your site, meet with me, and that was
hmm
a little part uh, selling something, and you could access all the blog for free. You
Of
can,
course.
yeah, and I think it's a very cool thing, and you can inspire people around the world without the selling thing.
Absolutely. I
And
hope so. Like I said, there's a balance. I think as well, for the first 3 years of running my blog, I didn't sell anything, not one thing. I was just articles, and then gradually when I finished studying, when I needed to have a career, then I started to add services on it. But like you say, it's not intrusive. I hope the people that want to find it, they will find it. The people who just want to read the blog, they can read the blog.
yeah, interesting. And about language learning, there are a lot of blogs about language learning, but what do you think is your differential, your golden point to be a excellent blog, to be this inspire thing around you?
Mm.
What's the secret? What's the key point in your mind?
Yeah. So what you need, for me, I think the art is your own experiences and your own stories. Then think about what you have learned from those experiences, and then what you can teach other people from them. So it's great to kind of, have stories about I was doing this, I went to this country, and, I spoke these languages, this was hard, blah, 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 blah. But you always have to think, what is the one thing you want someone to do different after reading your article? What's the one piece of advice you want them to go away with? And find a way to make that clear. And that's a step that I think sometimes people ignore. Sometimes people just write and write and write, and it's very nice, but it's not useful for the reader. And I think you can entertain, you can inspire, but you can also teach through having a blog. So always think about what is the piece of advice that I want my reader to go away with.
Excellent. So I will leave the link to your blog below because I do recommend, of course. That's why I invite you. And What about the shadow of the workshops? Where are
Mhm.
you where are you planning to go now?
Well, we do workshops in London 4 times a year. It's a regular thing. We also have workshops planned in Valencia for the end of January, which is going to be really fun. But nowadays, of course, we're starting a brand new program on the 4th of January, which is the Polyglot Workshops online. And you can take part in that wherever you are in the world. It's going to be with regular meetings with me, Richard, and the rest of the group. We're going to have a forum where you can ask questions. You're going to be sent instructional videos every week. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And the really important thing is that you can do it from anywhere in the world. So definitely check that out, polyglotworkshops.com/online.
Yeah, I will do it.
Fantastic.
Okay, so thank you so much for this advice. Thank you for being here, and thank you for everything. And let's keep contact, and maybe we can do an interview in Hebrew next time.
Gamovan. Thank you very much, Patrick. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, okay, and see you soon. Thank you, Alex, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.